Today it's ready to run, king of the 6 problems. Ecto, Pioneer, Base Camp, TRX4 Sport. Who's going to dominate? Stick around to find out. Now in the past we've done this on the course. Today we're doing the 6 problems. It's been raining for weeks. Today is not raining, but although the rocks are dry, the ground is still wet. So the tyres are still going to pick up some mud and some slick grass. We're using stock wheels throughout. Now, this is not a ready to run, this is the kit, but over the weekend I downgraded it. I don't have the original Traxxas servo, but I've got a similar low voltage servo of similar strength to the Traxxas 125 ounce servo. We've got the stock TRX4 motor. I even have stuck in a TQI radio and wheels. I got some plastic beadlocks and I have they're beadlocks, but I've got the Canyon Trails on all 4. So as far as stock goes, this is as close as I could make it. I didn't remove the cage on the body, but we've got as close to ready to run as I could make the TRX4 Sport. We've got an unmodified base camp, apart from where I've just trimmed the body the tiniest bit behind the front wheels. The Pioneer is also nearly stock, except that I removed the 4-link and made it a 3-link. We've got a whole video series on that. And of course, the Ecto that we just did the review on. Now, I'll state again, all 4 tyres are using their OEM wheels or equivalents. They're all plastic. There's no brass underneath any of these. It's just the equipment that they came with, including the radio systems. So let's get to it. First up is the Power Wagon Banana, the Element Ecto. Now, we've just put this around the 6 problems in the last video, but conditions are a little different today, and every vehicle will get its own run at the 6 problems. It's only fair. I will try to be as consistent as I can. Line choice differences unavoidably are going to affect the outcome. Look, it's like a little spider. Isn't that great? Ecto does it in one pass. Next up is the RGT Pioneer. Also running stock equipment with a slower crawl speed than the Ecto thanks to the higher turned 540 motor. In our testing, these stock tyres were pretty good in our most recent tyre test. There's no overdrive on this guy, and that would have been helpful here to pull the nose around. Not to worry though, we've completed it, albeit with the reverse. Next contender is the new Axial Base Camp. Lovely and quiet, this one. Also no overdrive. The Ecto is the only vehicle with overdrive in this test. An unfair advantage, but it's also the only vehicle that doesn't have 4-link suspension in the rear. It's got that trailing arm suspension and the higher motor speed, which works against it on this technical set of tests today. This is the only vehicle without side mirrors, the Base Camp. Yes, it's a more budget setup, but it also has the lightest body. It's about as light as the Ecto, actually. I think I measured 250 grams for the Base Camp and 200 for the Ecto. I've set this up as nicely as I can, but it's still running stock gear now. A 21 turn motor you'll find in the RTR Sports. It's got plastic wheels with the Canyon Trails, same as the RTR, an equivalent servo, and the same radio system. Slightly heavier body than the RTR, but not by a lot. These plastic trim pieces don't make much difference. Our testing has shown in a previous video. I should have come across a little bit higher with the Sport then, but I think we'll be okay. Lovely and stable. Like the others without overdrive, we've had to reverse to end straight, but there we are. I'll rotate these guys as we go. Everyone could do problem 1, but problem 1 is also the easiest problem of the 6. Problem 2 is surprisingly difficult. These boulders are quite steep, but I also expect these vehicles should be able to do this. All of them have good quality tyres. Now this servo's already faded. I'm steering right and it can't do it. That's pretty consistent with the ready to run servo, honestly. So I think we got it about right. This is the most top-heavy vehicle, but gee, it's lovely and composed. And those canyon trails from our test we know are excellent tyres. This higher motor speed not helping at all, but the Ecto is over without any drama. That 4-link suspension in the front that it came with was a bit silly. We removed one of the top links, the top left one, and now it articulates correctly. Beautiful and composed, no trouble at all. Nice. Center of gravity can be an issue. So even though this is a lovely lightweight body, they all are in this test actually, you've got to still, on this problem, get the balance just so. You can't be too far either side, because the truck gets really twisted up and it's going to want to fall down to the right in a sec. Any moment now. Oh, we're over too far actually. We'll want a high point. There we go. I've tried to take a safe line. The base camp did it with the most drama, but it's across. This doesn't look like much. It's just a little rock. I mean, you can see how tall it is next to a controller. It's got some height to it. There's my hand for scale. It doesn't seem like much, does it? But this thing is a surprisingly difficult problem, partly because there's a big hole right down there. And vehicles need something underneath to push themselves up. My aim was first, yeah, see the back right is in that hole? What we're going to do, I think, is going to be an approach that we'll need to take with the Ecto as well. You could also reasonably argue that this isn't an entirely fair comparison because they haven't got the same tyres. That's a fair point, but when you buy one of these, we're comparing what you get when you buy one before you go and spend a bunch more money, because honestly tyres are expensive, and our testing has shown that those 3 pairs of tyres in the background, I haven't tested these in a comparison yet, those 3 sets are actually really good. You don't need to go out and replace them straight away, and nor should you have to. I thought about this before I did the video. I could have done this all on the same wheels, and we've got a video like that. You can check that out up there right now, or after this video, where we used the same tyres on all different rigs. But I want to see what you get out of the box. I think we had this in the base camp review. I just don't remember any other vehicle getting up like that. How strange. Oh no! Oh no! Oh man, we fell. Yeah, this is what it did in the review. Isn't that bizarre? 3-point turn on the top of a boulder. It's got it, but ooh, messy. There we go. It's in crawling mode, which is mode 5. You hold it down till you get the 5 flashing lights. I've got Expo on the throttle. I've made it as nice as I can get it. That long rear bumper works against it. Trying to pull the nose around to see if we could get it up this way. There we are. Look at that. Overdrive could have helped, but as much as overdrive does help, oh, and I have an article, you can see that there, about overdrive. It's helpful, but not crucial. There we go. We've got to come in sharply. There we go. That's what I mean by sharply. Gee, it's too fast. It really wants a high turn motor. I didn't quite get the angle right then. We'll still do it, but it wasn't quite right. There we are. Ecto is up. You wouldn't think much of these tyres looking at them. They're a directional tread, and they're very soft. They feel, honestly, they feel slippery, but they deliver a surprising amount of grip. These muddy conditions certainly making life interesting for these trucks. Nope, I don't think we're going to get up that way. I'll have to take the TRX4 route. Oh, it wants to fall. Trying to wedge that front right tyre in. Can you see that? The panhard is moving an awful lot. You want a metal panhard mount. The plastic one's just shifting all over the place. There we are, there we go. Did it base camp style. Oh no! I really did do it base camp style. And now we've lost the little wedge we were in. This is a tough one. Remember, the Pioneer's running on 2S. I don't like to stress that little ESC on 3. Oh yeah, look at that. That's a different line. We couldn't do that with the others. Coming on this side and grabbing it and reefing it round. Servo doesn't have enough strength. There we go. Oh dear. Okay, it's up. That was interesting, huh? Okay, this is where things get hairy. On problem 4, you've got 1 high point, 2 high points, and these rocks here have a lot of scratches and wear on them from all the tests we've done. I don't know that all trucks are going to finish problem 4 today. Let's give it a go and see. Lights. Oh no. 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 For brevity, we might say each car gets 3 attempts, which means it has to make it this time. This is a truly challenging problem. Those tyres, now that they've got a bit of mud in them, they just don't want to stick. Come on. Come on, Pioneer. Yes. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, I'm being so careful. Hey! It had to make it. It made it. Yeah. Awesome. Just give it one last go. I made a bad line choice then. I'm going to stay right on top of this thing and watch closely. Now the body's getting munted on the rock there. This thing really wants sliders. There we go. Yeah, seeing what's going on is helpful. Good, we're going to get this. Oh. Look how it finished. Do we count that? Well, I mean, it got over the end. I guess we count that. In a comp, you'd count it. Oh man, that's hilarious. I think we'll have this. Nope, nope, I've stuffed that. I don't think we're getting out of this. Ooh, that was a hard landing too. The canyon trails go a long way to helping it. Hey, clearance is pretty good with the portals, which the Ecto didn't have. It's a 14 turn 5 pole. This is a 21 turn 3 pole 550, and it could do better being a 27. I had a 27 turn Holmes in there, but I removed it for this comparison. We have more wheel speed, more power, more battery consumption now, but less low speed control. We're going to need, this is where I want it to be. So I'm actually just going to give it some throttle to bump it across now. There. Because slow didn't work, fast did. And a tidy finish. Gee, I'm not doing too well here. There we go. There we go. The tyres are an unknown quantity and full of mud. That's mud from problem 3 as well. I see little tiny grooves in the lugs, but they're super tiny. One possibility for improving their performance would be to get a Dremel thin cutting disc and make those grooves bigger. Last attempt for the base camp. I think it should be able to do it. I just need to pay attention to my line choice, unlike just then. There we go. What we ideally want to see coming into this next problem is being close enough to the camera on the rear that all 4 wheels have purchase. Yeah, I came past it. This wants to be a bit slower too, honestly, although I think we're going to have this. Yep. Okay, we are trying a new camera angle for problem 5, just for today. Look at that. Very few vehicles make it over those two rocks without high pointing. That was the nicest pass of those two boulders I think I've ever seen from any four-wheel drive crawler. So tidy. This was full of water yesterday. It's dried out a bit today now. It's quite windy, but this rock was too slippery yesterday for the Ecto to get up. It's still really slippery. Whoa, traction. Still, all the vehicles are going to struggle. It really needs that support from that back right wheel. There we go. Done. Base camp. Made that look easy. Right, RGT Pioneer EX86 110 on problem 5. Oh, this is drivable. There we go. We might just continue on the chicken track actually. I tried to traverse those boulders cleanly, remembering these are straight axles, not portals. But you go too high, you high point in the middle. You go too low and you roll. Now these silky soft tyres have their work cut out for them on problem 5 today. I'm going to bring it a little bit higher. We're going to have it. One of the lower links was riding on a high point there. Now it can do problem 5, but I'll reiterate, this rock is slick as today. It is so slippery. I couldn't get the Ecto up it yesterday, so don't feel too bad if you're rooting for the Pioneer. I'm doing my best. I want it to finish. It gets to that top point and the front just squirms around a little to the right and it's all over. There, it just, when it goes over, and now we're too far down to the right. It's going to be close if we do it. I think Pioneer's out for problem 5, that's okay. All right. Beautiful. Often on problem 5, traction overcomes sticking points of the vehicle. There are a lot of white points here on this rock where vehicles have been losing metal and plastic, but we just don't have the traction to overcome that friction. And it's too fast. I can't make little adjustments. Oh, we've got it now. There we go. Right, in fact we might save that for a comparison between the Rescuer, the 2021 Bronco and the Emo AT4. They're all three of them diff-locked, unlockable diff-lock front rear, 2-speed, heavier rigs. That might make a fun comparison. Now the Sport made actually really tidy work. Remember, it's got portals, and although these are the same size, the smaller 4.6-inch tyres, same as the general grabbers on the Element, the compound and tread on the Canyon Trail 1.9s here on the TRX4 range, they are the best OEM tyres I've ever tested. And I don't mean driven, I mean tested. You can see in my tyre test series, look up the playlists, you'll see I've got a tyre test series. These tyres are exceptionally good for OEMs. Portal's really helping with clearance here. We're going to have this. Okay, here is where it gets interesting. Problem 6 is the big one. Let's see how the Sport goes. We've seen this finish problem 6 with the heavy bead-locked wheels, but we've never tried it with just plastic wheels, no weight down low. There's not a single modified piece under this machine. This is how you get it out of the box, as close as I can make it, given that this was a kit. Okay, this is typical of what happens with problem 6. A vehicle's bumper will get caught on that rock there. We need to get the vehicle from here. Once the front wheels are there and at least a back wheel's up on that, you're generally good. But getting up there is no small thing. And on such an angle, it's easy to fall off one way or the other. It's a thoroughly entertaining problem 6. I try and drive these as if there's a human in there, but honestly, they've already been turned to pulp today. Ooh, okay, now we're up. A slower motor. I was so gentle. We're going to turn the Expo back up. A slower motor would have let me, all I wanted to do was ease back. Oh, we've got this. We've got this, surely. You watch. I thought for sure we'd have that. I'm being so gentle. We got this now, I would think. Over to this side and then around and up. I wish you guys were here. Wouldn't it be fun just hanging out, trying to get some vehicles over this? You're going to have to put up with watching me do it instead. I hope you're still enjoying it. Throw me a like if you are. I'll take this opportunity while I'm yammering on to say thank you so much for watching. I'm so glad to have you guys here. Honestly, it's a big part of my enjoyment from this channel is just being able to talk to you guys after it, the comments and just discussing different trucks. I hadn't heard of some of these trucks until you guys had talked about them in the comments. Right, let's pay attention here. Oh, plus it's nice just talking to you, just to be clear. That first, trucks second. Too fast. This doesn't let me put Expo in. Exponential is where you can increase your resolution of the initial pull of the throttle so that it doesn't do as much at first, and then like on a curve later further in the pull it drastically, like almost exponentially, increases the response, but it lets you make movements with your finger to give little adjustments so that you're not just flying off to the forward or rear. And it wants a little bit of weight down low. We're going to stick with the tires. There we go. Ooh, we might have this. We might have this. I need it over about that much further, or that much further. Just, I need this back wheel up. There we go. Got there. So this is getting interesting. Come wide and then come around. The overdrive here should help me be able to, yeah, look at that. I could just draw the nose right around. I would have had to reverse a bit with those guys. I think this is the line to do it, if it's going to do it. Yes, yes, we're going to have this now. Just getting past that hole was the big one. I just need the rear to come across to me a little bit and we'll have it. There we go. That was tough, but it did it. I don't know that it can actually do this with these tires, with that hole. Let us find out. Try for that Ecto line again. I think that's the answer. There we go. There we go. Ooh, we might have this. We might have this. We've done it. Between you and me, I didn't think we were going to get that. Now that you've seen all the vehicles do all the problems, you might have an idea of why this is my all-star list for ready-to-run vehicles. I've tried to make this as ready-to-run as I can. I'm sorry it's not the actual one, but in specification, it's very close, so you can count that as ready to run. These guys have achieved what so many crawlers can't do. And these problems are not easy. Problem 6 is a doozy. Problem 5 is so slippery. I think only one vehicle missed problem 5 today, and otherwise, all 4 of these have done everything. That's just superbly impressive. I wasn't out here for hours battling away either, they just did it. Element Ecto needs a higher turn motor. It wants to be a little slower, and maybe just a little bit of weight in those front knuckles and it's good. I've got a whole video series on the Pioneer actually, go and check that out, that's up here. Just removing that link really helped. The TRX4 is out of the box, fabulous. The one thing you'd change on that would be the servo. It's very weak. And the Base Camp, I'm still getting to know, I must admit. You might consider overdrive, but if you want to keep it like this, I think just trimming that bumper and a little bit of the body, and then maybe just brass portal outers, just to give it a little bit of weight up front, would be a fabulous start. As they are right now, in very close to out-of-the-box form, with just minor tweaks, we're talking little cuts of the body or removing a link, not spending money, plastic wheels for all of them, no weights for all of them. This is what you can expect out of the box. These guys are recommended. I've got a link in the description below to where to get them. I also, if you didn't know, have a website, RC-TNT.com, and I have an article for 3 of these 4. The Sport doesn't have an article yet, but I also have a list of which is the best rock crawler. I've got a bunch of content, so go and check out that website if you've got a bit of time to read. I try and make them interesting. It's not just listing specs and affiliate links. I put thought into those articles, so hopefully you enjoy them. It was a ready to run head-to-head, and wasn't it something? It's getting warm now. Thanks heaps for watching, guys. If you haven't already, throw me a like, and I'll catch you next time on RC-TNT. Thanks for watching.